It's the moment nobody saw coming, and the footage that has the entire internet in shock. A brutal video has gone viral, allegedly showing Mendeecees Harris in a violent altercation caught on camera. And now, for the first time, Yandy Smith has finally broken her silence. The clip exploded online overnight. Shaky cell phone footage from what looks like a New York parking lot. You can see Mendeecees arguing with an unidentified man, voices raised, tension high, and then chaos. In seconds, punches are thrown, people are screaming, and someone yells, "The cameras are rolling!" It's wild, raw, and absolutely unbelievable. Twitter is melting down. TikTok detectives are analyzing every frame. Some fans say it was self-defense. Others swear it looked personal. And while Mendeecees hasn't released an official statement yet, the streets and the blogs are already calling it the most shocking love and hip-hop scandal of 2025. But the biggest twist: Yandy just broke her silence, posting an emotional, cryptic video that has fans losing it. She doesn't confirm or deny the fight, but her words say everything. You can only push a person so far before they break. But strength is how you rebuild afterward. Now everyone's asking the same questions. What started the fight? Who leaked the footage? And what's really going on behind closed doors with Mendeecees and Yandy? Because one thing's for sure, this isn't just another scandal. This is the moment everything changes. And when I tell you the footage is jaw-dropping, you're not ready. The internet was already wild that night. But when the clip dropped, everything went silent. Within seconds, timelines froze, comments stopped mid-sentence, and then came the flood. Disbelief, outrage, confusion. The headline hit first. Mendeecees Harris involved in violent altercation. Footage caught on camera. Nobody wanted to believe it. Not him. Not Yandy's Mendeecees. The man who built his reputation on second chances, family values, and redemption after prison. But the video was undeniable. It started as a blurry, vertical clip filmed from across a parking lot. The kind of grainy footage that sends the internet into detective mode. Two men are arguing next to a black SUV. You can hear a woman's voice screaming, "Stop! It's not worth it." Then clear as day a punch. Scuffle. The phone shakes and someone in the background yells, "He's hitting him." That was all it took. Within minutes, the clip was everywhere. TikTok, X, Instagram, even Facebook. Hashtags like #Mendeecees and #Caught in the Act trended worldwide. Every gossip blog had a headline. What happened to the real Mendy? From redemption to rage. Who's the man in the video? No one knew yet, but the theories were flying. Some fans insisted it was staged, maybe for a spin-off. Others claimed it was over a woman. But one anonymous account posted something that made everyone stop scrolling. "This isn't random," he snapped. And the reason why? Yandy knows. That single tweet racked up over 100,000 likes in under an hour. Meanwhile, Yandy went silent. No posts, no stories, no comments. For someone who normally controls the narrative like a PR professional, her silence spoke volumes. And when Yandy goes quiet, the internet gets louder. Blogs started digging. Within hours, new angles of the fight surfaced. A clearer clip, this time from the opposite side of the parking lot, showed Mendeecees in a gray hoodie, pushing a man who looked mid-30s, wearing a chain and designer sneakers. The audio picked up more now. You can hear the man yell, "Keep her name out your mouth," and Mendeecees snapping back, "Say it again," before the punches fly. Fans were floored. He said, "Keep her name out your mouth." Was this about Yandy? Did someone disrespect her? Who's the other guy? The internet became a war zone of theories. That's when the first insider leak hit. A verified gossip page posted screenshots from someone claiming to be a production assistant for a love and hip-hop spin-off. The message read, they were filming a promo shoot that night. Cameras were supposed to be off. Mendeecees lost it when someone made a comment about Yandy being fake loyal. The post blew up instantly. Fans flooded comment sections. He was defending her honor. This man been through too much. They pushed him too far. others weren't so forgiving. No excuse for violence. He worked so hard to rebuild his image, and now this? By morning, TMZ dropped the HD version of the clip. That's when things really went left. You can see it all, the tension, the shove, the swing. You can even hear the words crystal clear now. The other man says, "You front like you faithful when you the same as the rest." And Mendeecees, eyes burning, mutters, "Say it again." He does. And Mendeecees lunges. The punch connects. The crowd gasps. The camera shakes as security rushes in. That clip hit 10 million views in less than 2 hours. And while the internet argued, the most viral comment of the day summed it up perfectly. He wasn't fighting for fame. He was fighting for love. But the real twist came from Yandy's camp. At noon, a journalist from the neighborhood talk claimed that Yandy was aware of the incident, but devastated. A source close to her said, "She warned him that anger would be used against him." Fans flooded Yandy's old posts, begging for answers. "Please say something, Yandy. We're praying for you. Is it true?" And then she spoke. At 3:47 p.m., Yandy posted a 2-minute video to Instagram, shot in her living room. No makeup, no filter, no production, just raw emotion. Her voice was soft but firm. "Everybody's seen the video. I've seen it too," she said, eyes glistening. "Before y'all jump to conclusions, understand that being pushed, being lied on, and being provoked don't make you weak. Makes you human. And sometimes, even the strongest break." She took a deep breath. "I'm not proud of what happened. I'm not here to justify it either. But when you love someone and they're constantly being tested, when people poke the bear, eventually the bear reacts." And yes, he reacted. But I know his heart. I know his journey. And I know he'll face this like a man. The internet imploded. Yandy's protecting him. That's loyalty. This is the definition of ride or die. Within minutes, her video had 1 million views and counting. But not everyone was impressed. Critics called her message tone-deaf. One viral tweet said, "Girl, defending violence ain't love, it's denial." Still, the narrative started to shift. Suddenly, it wasn't Mendeecees attacked someone. It was Mendeecees defended Yandy. But behind the scenes, things were unraveling fast. TMZ reported that the man involved in the fight, later identified as a promoter named Rico de Don, was pressing charges for assault and property damage. According to police, he claimed Mendeecees snapped after being confronted about past relationship rumors. That's when everything started snowballing. Rico went live on Instagram. His face was bruised, his tone smug. "He can't take a joke," he said. "All I said was facts. If your wife out here for the cameras, that's on you." The comments section exploded. Fans were furious. "He's baiting him again. This man's obsessed. He's trying to go viral off their pain." But then Rico dropped his own footage. A 15-second clip from his phone, filmed before the fight started. You can hear him taunting Mendeecees. "Yandy ain't loyal to you, bro. She loyal to the lights. You her storyline." That line hit like a bullet. Mendeecees' voice, calm but shaking, replied, "Say that again to my face." He did. The clip ended there. But it confirmed what fans suspected all along. Mendeecees snapped defending Yandy's name. Twitter turned the moment into a movement. Hashtags like #ProtectYandy and #HeSnapped for love flooded the feed. TikTok edits turned his punch into slow-motion tributes with dramatic R&B music playing underneath. Fan comments read like poetry. When loyalty turns to rage. He didn't lose control. He just stopped pretending it didn't hurt. Meanwhile, VH1's PR team was panicking. The network released a carefully worded statement. "We are aware of the footage circulating involving Mendeecees Harris. We take all incidents seriously and are reviewing the situation." Translation: they were scrambling to protect the brand. But as corporate damage control took over, the streets and the blogs kept the story alive. Then came the leaked text messages. Screenshots allegedly from Yandy's phone circulated online, showing a conversation between her and an unnamed friend the night before the fight. One message from Yandy read, "He said if one more person calls me fake, he's gonna lose it. I told him to stay calm, but he's tired of being tested." The friend replied, "They wanna see y'all break. Don't give them that." Fans were stunned. So he warned her. He told her he was on edge. This man been trying to hold it together. Yandy's fans rallied harder than ever. This is love under pressure. She's standing by him no matter what. They been through worse. Still, others weren't convinced. Standing by your man is one thing, but violence is never okay. By nightfall, the saga had become global news. Entertainment outlets, podcasts, even mainstream media picked it up. Every hour, a new twist dropped. More clips, more angles, more chaos. But the one thing everyone agreed on: this wasn't random. This was personal. Someone pushed Mendeecees past his limit, and the world had just watched the fallout in HD. And if the whispers from insiders were true, the story wasn't even close to over. Because the word on the street was that Yandy had more to say. A second video was coming, one that would change everything. And in that one, she wasn't defending Mendeecees. She was exposing why it all happened. The internet barely had time to catch its breath before Yandy returned. And this time she wasn't calm. She wasn't composed. She was done. It happened just 24 hours after her first video. The clip popped up without warning, no promo, no caption. Just a shaky selfie video posted straight to Instagram with a timestamp still visible. She didn't even bother turning off notifications, so you can hear pings going off as messages flood in mid-recording. Her voice is shaking but sharp. "Everybody's been talking," she says, eyes locked on the camera. "Everybody got theories, receipts, screenshots, but y'all don't know half of it." She takes a deep breath. "So let me tell you the truth before someone else twists it." And just like that, Yandy dropped the bombshell that turned a viral scandal into a national headline. She continued, "That man who got hit, he's been harassing me and my husband for months. DMs, comments showing up at events saying disgusting things. We ignored it, but he wanted attention and he got it. He followed us to that shoot. He started it." The video was raw, emotional, and brutal in its honesty. "You don't know what it's like to have people test your peace every single day," Yandy said. "We tried walking away. But that night he crossed a line. He said something about our kids. That's when everything broke." She stopped talking for a few seconds, long enough for fans to see the tears forming in her eyes. "So yeah," she said softly. "He snapped. Wouldn't you?" The internet exploded. The clip spread like wildfire. Within an hour, it was reposted on every major blog. Yandy reveals the real story. He insulted their children. Now it makes sense. Fans rallied in her defense. He was defending his family. Now I understand why she stood by him. That's not violence, that's fatherhood. But then the next leak dropped. A longer, high-definition version of the original fight surfaced. And for the first time, everyone could hear exactly what the man said before Mendeecees snapped. The video starts the same, the parking lot, the yelling, but a few seconds earlier. The audio's clearer this time. You can hear Rico de Don, the other man, sneer. "That's why your wife got a fake storylines to feed your kids." And then, the one line that sent the internet into chaos. "At least my kids know who their father is." You can literally see Mendeecees freeze before charging forward. It's not just anger, it's pain. The kind that bubbles up when someone hits a wound you thought had healed. The clip went viral again. Only this time the tone had changed. Even critics who'd condemned Mendeecees started backpedaling. "He's human," one tweet read. "If someone talked about my family, I'd lose it too." #family over everything trended worldwide. TikTok edits turned the fight into a cinematic tragedy. Slow-motion clips of Yandy crying, Mendeecees lunging, dramatic music swelling underneath captions like, "You can only push love so far before it breaks." But while fans were romanticizing it, VH1 was panicking. An internal memo leaked online showing that the network had officially suspended filming on all projects involving Yandy and Mendeecees, pending review. The memo included one chilling line. Public sympathy is growing, but legal exposure remains high. In other words, they were afraid of lawsuits. And then the press got involved. The Shade Room dropped an interview with Rico himself, bandaged, bruised, and grinning like he'd won. "I didn't know he was gonna take it that far," he said. "I just said what I said. He hit me for no reason." The comments were brutal. "You provoked him. You mentioned his kids, that's a no-go. Clout chasing gone wrong." Still Rico doubled down. "If he's gonna act like a thug, I'ma treat him like one. Hope he likes lawsuits." Then, hours later, the Neighborhood Talk posted a leaked text exchange allegedly between Rico and a known VH1 field producer. The messages hinted that Rico had been encouraged to stir the pot for spice in the scene. The texts read, "Producer, just don't cross a line, bro. We need heat for episode 3. Rico, say less. I know what to say to get him mad." That changed everything. Fans lost it. They set him up. So this was planned. They used Mendeecees' temper for ratings. For the first time, the anger shifted away from Mendeecees and onto the network. Comments poured in. This man served time, rebuilt his life, and they still tried to break him. Reality TV is a trap. By the next morning, #Justice for Mendeecees was trending. Yandy went live again. Not crying this time but furious. "You mean to tell me you hired a man to harass us? To trigger my husband's trauma? For what? A storyline? A headline? You wanted views. Congratulations, you got them, but at what cost?" Her words were sharp, her tone shaking with rage. "Y'all been calling this reality for years, but this ain't reality. This is exploitation dressed up as entertainment." Fans flooded her comments with support. Even celebrities joined in. Remy Ma commented, "They always play with our pain." Cardi B tweeted, "TV don't care who they hurt as long as it trends." But then another leak dropped, this time from inside the network. A former VH1 staffer sent a whistleblower email to several entertainment journalists claiming that the fight was absolutely manipulated. The email read, "Producers told Rico exactly what to say. They even positioned cameras near the parking lot in case something went down. When it did, they kept filming instead of stopping it." That was the final spark. News outlets picked up the story. Rolling Stone ran a headline, "VH1 under fire after allegations of provoked violence on set." Entertainment Tonight aired a segment calling it, "The darkest moment in love and hip-hop history." Meanwhile, Yandy posted one final message, a black and white photo of her holding Mendeecees' hand. The caption read, "They wanted a fight. They didn't expect a movement." It went mega viral. Within 24 hours, over 10 million likes, thousands of comments, endless reposts. The hashtag they did this trended worldwide. But the story still wasn't over. Because that night, another video surfaced, unseen footage from the aftermath of the fight. In it, you see Mendeecees sitting on a curb, face in his hands, Yandy kneeling beside him. "They're filming," someone whispers behind the camera. Mendeecees looks up, eyes red, voice breaking. "They told me to keep calm, but I'm human. I'm tired of being tested." The clip ends with Yandy whispering, "They got what they wanted, baby. They got their moment." It was haunting and real. By sunrise, the footage had been viewed over 25 million times. And suddenly, the narrative wasn't about a fight gone viral anymore. It was about manipulation, trauma, and what reality TV does to the people it claims to document. VH1 finally released a statement. "We are conducting an internal investigation into the events leading up to the altercation. We stand with all our talent and their families during this difficult time." Fans didn't buy it. One comment summed up the collective rage. "You stood with your cameras, not your people." Now, reports say Yandy and Mendeecees are cutting all ties with the network. Sources claim they're working on their own docuseries called Unfiltered. The truth behind the fight, promising every unedited second of what really happened that night. And this time there's no script, no producers, no stage drama, just raw truth. Because for Yandy and Mendeecees, this wasn't about clout anymore. It was about reclaiming their story from the machine that tried to destroy it. But one question still hangs in the air like smoke. If which one really staged this? What else have they been hiding? By the time dawn broke over New York City, the entire entertainment industry was buzzing. Every timeline, every headline, every podcast intro opened with the same words. The unfiltered documentary is dropping tonight. For weeks, the world had been obsessed with the Mendeecees fight. But now, Yandy and Mendeecees were about to flip the story on its head. What started as a scandal had evolved into a full-blown rebellion. They weren't running from the chaos anymore. They were confronting it head-on, cameras on their own terms. The teaser hit YouTube at midnight. A 30-second clip that stopped the internet cold. It opened with Mendeecees sitting alone in a dark studio. His hands clasped, eyes hollow. "They told me to be the good guy," he says quietly. "But good guys don't get ratings." Then a cut to Yandy. "They said, ignore it, stay quiet, let PR handle it. But silence doesn't heal. Truth does." The trailer ended with a single line across the screen. "This time we control the narrative." And with that, unfiltered, the truth behind the fight became the most anticipated tell-all in love and hip-hop history. When the full episode dropped, it hit like a bomb. The opening scene was raw, the moments before the infamous fight, captured on hidden GoPros and crew cell phones. Mendeecees is standing in the parking lot, clearly frustrated, pacing. You can hear Rico Didon's voice off camera, mocking him. "You ain't no family man, bro, stop acting." Mendeecees looks at someone behind the camera, later identified as a field producer, and says, "You told me he wasn't gonna be here." The producer replies, "Just roll with it, it's good TV." You can see the tension in his face, the clenched jaw, the silent fury. Then the words that broke him. "That's why your wife's loyalty only works when the cameras are on." The next moment he moves, fast, explosive, primal, exactly as the viral clip had shown. But what the audience had never seen before came next. When the fight ended, Mendeecees didn't run or brag. He collapsed, dropped to his knees, buried his face in his hands. The footage then cuts to Yandy rushing over, shouting at the cameraman, "Turn it off! Turn it off!" But they didn't. The producers kept filming. One even said, "This is the realest moment we've ever gotten." Hearing that on tape sent viewers into a collective rage. The live chat exploded. They exploited his trauma. They filmed his breakdown like it was entertainment. This is disgusting. The documentary didn't hold back. It included screenshots of producer texts that confirmed everything fans had suspected. One message read, "Rico's gonna taunt him about Yandy. Don't stop filming no matter what." Another said, "We need Mendeecees emotional. Push him. He's too calm lately." The receipts were damning. The next segment showed Yandy reading the messages out loud in tears. "They made my husband's pain a plotline," she said. "They didn't care about his growth or his redemption. They just wanted a reaction." The camera panned to her wiping her eyes. "You know what hurts most? We trusted them. We let them into our home, our marriage, our kids' lives. And they turned that trust into clickbait." It was the moment that changed everything. Social media exploded with outrage. #boycott VH1 began trending within an hour. Sponsors pulled out of upcoming projects. Industry insiders called it the death of the love and hip-hop era. But Yandy and Mendeecees weren't done yet. The documentary's second half was even more shocking. It revealed that the fight had been set up weeks in advance. Emails between producers detailed how they intentionally booked Mendeecees and Rico for the same shoot, knowing their past issues. The kicker: they'd promised Yandy it would be a positive family-themed segment. In one leaked audio clip, a producer can be heard laughing, "If Mendy swings, we're trending by morning." Fans were horrified. This isn't reality TV. It's psychological warfare. They manipulated trauma for views. This man went to prison, came home, and they still treated him like a storyline. Then came the clip that shattered even the most loyal VH1 defenders. Unseen footage from the aftermath showed a network executive yelling at a crew member, "Why'd you step in so fast? We needed a longer clip. We could have cut it before the cops showed." That one line spread like wildfire. The moment corporate greed became undeniable. By the next morning, #VH1 exposed and #unfiltered were trending worldwide. Millions tuned in to watch the replay, and the comments read like a eulogy for an entire genre. Reality TV died tonight. This was bigger than a fight. This was a revolution. Celebrities began weighing in. Taraji P. Henson commented, "They tried to break them and ended up breaking the system." 50 Cent tweeted, "They shoulda known Yandy don't play." Even Nicki Minaj posted, "Protect Yandy at all costs." That's a real one. VH1 tried to issue a statement, but it only made things worse. They wrote, "We regret that a recent production event caused emotional distress. We value our cast and will review our internal processes moving forward." The top comment under the post, "Too late. We saw the receipts." Meanwhile, fans flooded Yandy's page with love. "You took back your power. You and Mendeecees changed the game. This is the truth they never wanted told." Within 48 hours, VH1's stock took a dip. Major advertisers paused their partnerships, and a class action lawsuit was rumored to be in the works from multiple cast members across the Love and Hip Hop franchise. But amid the chaos, Yandy and Mendeecees weren't celebrating. They were healing. In the documentary's final 10 minutes, the couple sat side by side in a quiet room. No lights, no crew, just them. Yandy spoke first. "They took our worst moment and made it viral. But what they didn't understand is that love can't be edited." Mendeecees nodded. "I'm not proud of what I did. But I'm proud of what we're doing now. Because this time they don't get to tell our story, we do." The final shot showed them walking hand in hand through their old Harlem neighborhood. Kids waved from the corner. A neighbor yelled, "We love y'all." And Yandy smiled, a real exhausted human smile. Fade to black. Text on screen. "For years, reality TV has made money from our pain. Now we're reclaiming our peace." When the credits rolled, fans were in tears. Comment sections turned into confessionals. People sharing stories of being exploited by jobs, friends, or systems that thrived on their vulnerability. What started as one couple's scandal had become a movement about dignity, redemption, and truth. The next morning, the headlines told the story plain and simple. Yandy and Mendeecees destroy the system that tried to destroy them. Love and Hip Hop franchise on life support after explosive documentary. But maybe the most poetic moment came days later, when Mendeecees posted a photo on Instagram. Just him, Yandy, and their kids sitting on the stoop. The caption read, "They filmed our pain. We built our peace." Millions of likes. Tens of thousands of comments. A digital standing ovation. In 1 year they went from headlines to history. From viral chaos to cultural reckoning. The world had tuned in to watch them fall. But instead they watched them rise. Because in the end, Yandy and Mendeecees didn't just win their story back. They changed what reality really means. You just saw it. The fight, the manipulation, the betrayal, and the truth that blew the lid off reality TV. Mendeecees fought for his name. Yandy fought for their peace. And together they took on an entire network, and won. What started as a scandal turned into a movement. What began as pain ended in power. But don't think it's over. Because insiders are already whispering that Unfiltered, the truth behind the fight, was only the first chapter. There are more tapes. More producers. More lies ready to be exposed. People inside the industry are nervous. And for good reason. If you've been watching from the start, you're part of something bigger now. Hit that like button right now if you stand with Yandy and Mendeecees reclaiming their story. Drop your comments below. Do you think VH1 will ever recover from this? Should the entire reality TV machine be rebuilt from the ground up? I want to hear your take because your voice keeps this truth alive. And before you scroll, subscribe. Turn those notifications on. Because when the next leak hits, when the next truth bomb drops, you'll want to be right here. First, not last. The next documentary could expose names, contracts, and secrets that will change the industry forever. This isn't gossip anymore. This is revolution. They wanted silence. We gave them a story too powerful to erase. Stay tuned. Stay loud. Stay unfiltered. Because if the truth can bring down an empire once, imagine what happens when the next one falls.